here's the thing about training when you're old, okay? So I'm 64, all right? So the most stressful thing in my life right now is trying to figure out how to sign up for Medicare. That's my biggest stressor right now. I'm freaked out about that, okay? Because I'm like going, how can I be this old? So anyway, so when you're training jiu-jitsu with younger people, here's what I would say. I would say choose your training partners well, because some people are, it's just, you know, you can say, hey, I'm old, I don't like to roll that hard, but people don't care. They see a black belt, they're going to try to kill you. That's just the nature of the game. And I'm perfectly fine with that. You just have to figure out who is the best to roll with, because you've got to protect your body. Here's another thing. If I see a guy come in and he's got he's got 2 knee braces, 2 ankle braces, he's got a neck problem, he's got an elbow problem, I'm not rolling with him. And my reasoning is this: if you don't take care of yourself, I promise you're not going to take care of me. Does that make sense? So pick and choose those roles wisely. The second thing is, it literally is learning how to roll relaxed. The most important thing you can do, it will help you at any level when you learn how to roll relaxed. It'll make a huge difference. Here's the third thing: get on top. If you're old, get on top. If you're not on top, get on top. If you're on bottom, figure out how to sweep and get on top. If you are on bottom and you can't get out of that, learn how to play turtle, because it's way easier on your body than when you're smashed in side control. So those are my old man theories of jiu-jitsu. But you can still, as you age, your athleticism is going to decline, your cardio is going to decline, and your strength is going to decline. But if you still use good technique, you can be good. And so learning technique is the most important thing. So once again, I'm connected to Mark. I feel like, okay, this is the way I want to go. And I go here. I flatten out my body. I extend my left leg, and then I suck my elbow to my stomach. Mark is going to have a really tight grip on my foot. You can wrap it however you want. So there's a couple of options from here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my left leg under just a bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk my right leg to its butt. While I'm doing that, all I'm going to do is use my forearm to clear my knee. I don't push really hard. All I do is I use the frame, because if he's strong, I can't do it. So I just walk this up, and I slowly clear the knee line. Once I clear the knee line, all of my weight goes into my knee. All of my weight goes here. So I put all of my weight on the knee. He's going to quarter guard me. Everyone does. Once he does that, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab his shoulder, and I'm going to put my forearm right into his jawline, and I'm going to smash that. I'm going to bring this foot through, and now I'm right into my right. I'm just giving him a free chiropractic adjustment. And the reason it works is because I can't have his leg this way and his head this way without getting a response. We're here. I feel like, okay, this is my option. I fall. But here's what I do. I hang out here for a little while, and I'm listening to his breathing. And if I feel him struggling to breathe, I hang out a little longer. So if I feel like I can cook him, I'm going to cook him. This is a video game concept. My power bar starts at about 20. Everyone else starts at 100. I got to bring that power bar down. This is how I do it. So I suck him in, I connect, and I bring my foot in, and I start walking, not using any strength. This is all frames. Now I go here. All my weight goes there. He's got quarter guard. Push the face in it. Straighten him out. Simple enough. Let's play with that, and then we'll look at getting to where I want to get to today. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Just give you a quick tip on what to do when you get to mount, but then we're going to look at another way to deal with this, okay? So, same thing. Mark's here. Boom, he's there. I helicopter him. Boom, I go here. I start walking this up, and I put all my weight here. I walk through. I get to my mount position. A lot of times what people will do is they'll go grapevine, which is great, okay? So someone's got to do grapevine here. Now the problem with grapevine is very escapable. I'll show you that in a second.
once I get here and I grapevine, the next thing I do, and this is the relaxation part of Jiu-Jitsu, is I just relax my upper body while keeping my grapevines in. How does that feel like? Yeah, so I'm just pressuring him the whole time. Just a little side note on how that works. And so if the reason that the grapevine is, it's kind of easy to deal with. All of his weight's on me now, but look. And I'm out. Because all of this pressure is in my hips. And when this pressure goes in my hips, that means his knees are light. So I'm feeling that whole thing. Make sense? That was just a quick thought to finish that. Now, here's what we're going to do next. This time, we're in that same position. Here. But I can't get past this. I'm having trouble getting past this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to fight for this underhook. With this hand. Once I get the underhook, I'm going to come over. Just get my same position. So here and here, and we're fighting this, and I can't get this. So now I have an underhook. So I go over just a little, and then I'm going to bring this head back. Watch the hip. The hip goes here. Then it turns. Once I get here, get to this position. I want to hook, hand on the head. I want to suck this arm up as high as I can, and I want my hips underneath the armpit as deep as I can get there. All my weight goes to Mark, and I'm in what's called super chill. I'm just watching what's going on around me, but I got to start. I have a ton of pressure on him, and then we'll start working on this from there. So we're going to, once we get to side control, how do we relax? How do we make life miserable for him? So, one more time. Over here. Boom. I can't get what I want here. He's too tight. So I'm going to go here. Suck that way through. Hook. Get high. I control this. I use this not as anything but to keep this hand from getting in front of my face. So I use this. If he still wants to do it, we'll go from that. We'll look at those from there. Makes sense? In this little super chill position, okay? So now, once I get here and I'm in this position, I like to suck the elbow into me, and then I'm gonna go here. And immediately I can hear Mark breathe when I do that. And that's what I want. I'm gonna bring my chest kind of across his chest here, or my side across his chest here, because I want to suck the life out of him if I can. So I go here and here, and now I go here, and that makes Mark really uncomfortable. And so as I go here, if I want to make this a little more difficult, what I do is I'll use my top foot just to turn him a little, and now I got him in this position. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cooking Mark the whole time. Now, I'm going to start looking for submissions from here. I have both arms kind of trapped, so I'm in a pretty good place here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my hand right here, and I'm going to grab Mark's shoulder. And then all I'm going to do is put all my weight on his Adam's apple. So if his head's turned on me, all I do is I use the back of my arm to turn, I catch, and I go there. If Mark begins to feel this, brings the arm in front of me, I catch. From here, now I have my Merhan. Now, let's say that I go here and I can't get Mark to do anything, so maybe I'll go here, and now I have this arm off. So now I have a triple threat going, and I can just go pressure, pressure, here, maybe I missed that, maybe I missed this, maybe I go back, now I got that. So I just keep attacking from there. The biggest key to this, though, is this. All my weight's on. So my goal is to be completely relaxed, and the goal is 100% of my weight on him 100% of the time. That's not going to happen, but that's my goal. So every movement that I do is I want Mark carrying my my weight the whole time. So all my weight's always in him. So I have it everywhere from that. So once we get here, we're in our position. Option A, chop. Option B, boom. Option C. If I can't get this, I look for the arm. Make sense? Yes. Questions? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. This is always just a fun thing to look at. So let's say that I have side control on Mark. You guys, you're familiar with the Heisman where you push me over. So if you look at this, and he goes there, go back. So generally, I might get in this position, and then Mark's going to Heisman me. Go ahead and do it again. Boom. And I'm in trouble here. Boom. So the concept here, the idea is go ahead and Heisman me. Go ahead and Heisman me. Now, I'm pulling my arm back when he does that, only because that's where his arm is taking me. All I'm doing is I'm going, go ahead and Heisman me, from being stiff to being relaxed. That's all I'm doing. So if he tries something to move on me, and I'm just relaxed the whole time, that's the whole concept of throughout the whole thing of what we're doing. We're always staying relaxed. And I was rolling with Josh. We have a tradition on Saturdays. We just do the first 5 minutes. And usually Josh will get an occasional sweep. But anyway, he was going to sweep me last week. And I'm like, oh man. And then I just totally relaxed my body, and the sweep didn't work. He beat me 99% of the round, but I had 1%. To me, that's a victory in Jiu-Jitsu, because sometimes that's all you're looking for. You're just looking for little things, and you have to enjoy those little things. So let's do a quick question and answer. Does that make sense? So yeah, those are little victories. Q&A to finish, and then we can go from there. Does anybody have any questions about any positions that we can kind of talk about from the old man perspective and kind of go from there?
I have a question. So,
yes.
The last thing you talked about, going completely relaxed. Are there times when you shouldn't?
Yeah. So you want to be chill, okay? And you want to be relaxed, but that does not mean you're passive. So I only relax when I get the position that I want. So if I'm trying to pass Mark's guard, I'll work a little harder to get to that position. It might be 5 or 10 seconds. If in that 5 or 10 seconds that I'm not past him, I'm going to reset, catch my breath a bit, and then try to get him again. Right? But you want to be relaxed the whole time, but you don't want to be passive. That means I'm not going to give people jokes. So yeah, that's kind of how I go about that. Make sense? Others?
What do you mean when you say reset? What do you mean?
So if I'm trying to pass, maybe Mark has a leash in, and you get in this position, I'm trying really hard to pass him, and I can't. I'm going to just step back just for a second and reset my mind. Because what I'm doing is not working. Now maybe this, so now here's what I just did. I put him in a really bad position because now I'm a little closer, chest to chest, and look, I got this smashed, and now I can go from there. So reset for me is, hey, this isn't working. And in Jiu-Jitsu, you can get into these loops where you keep trying the same things and they don't work. That's what I mean by reset. When I feel myself gripping too tight, or when I feel myself going, that means I'm either I don't have enough fiber when I go to the bathroom, or I'm trying too hard. Generally, it's I'm trying too hard. I just don't try that hard. I do what I can, but I try the second thing. So that's what I'm talking about there. When you're finished with the round and you're exhausted, just working too hard. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Any other questions?
I got one.
Yes.
So I know you were talking about like cheese and partners and stuff, and I'm not old by all means. I mean, I'm banged up 35-year-old, but
if you read my book, you know when the decline happens? 35. Anyway,
so like obviously if you're healthy enough to like get the harder rounds or like even competing or whatever, just for somebody who's done jiu-jitsu for a long time, do you think choosing partners early, you'd start a lot earlier, or would you just say, hey, you're healthy enough to do it now, kind of take those tougher rounds or kind of do those tougher things while you got the chance?
So here's what I would do at 35. I would start training like this at 35.
Okay.
I think you can train. You can choose your partners however you want. You're still good to go with that. But here's what else I would do. Generally, when you go into an open mat, you do 167 rounds in a row, right? So I like to monitor my body and see how I feel. And so I think that jiu-jitsu is so addicting. It's just so easy to overtrain. And then you get these little minor injuries. Man, that's your body talking to you. So you have to learn to listen to that if you want to stay in the game for a long time. Like if you're trying to win the worlds and you're like, that's the most important thing in the world. I don't care if I lose my arm doing that. Then yeah, that's fine. But to me, I just want to roll, And even in competition times, Robert, what I find that most people when they go into competition, they go into competition so overtrained. It's just your performance isn't as good. Undertraining is so much better than overtraining. Taking days off, that's the most misunderstood thing when it comes to athletic recovery. People don't take enough time to rest and recover. And so, and each year, it just gets a little bit worse and worse. Yeah, so that's the one thing I noticed. So I would choose my rounds wisely, and then I would probably do 1, maybe 2 competition rounds 2 or 3 times a week, rather than go 110%. I would use a lot more positional spars. I love designated winner that Josh had designed a while back. I think that's super helpful. So yeah, I'm listening to my body, and I'm being very gracious to my body.
So you really emphasize getting on top, staying on top once you get older, making that a part of your game. So a lot of people who have that inverting game and that guard game and stuff like that, as you get older, you're saying that's going to wear on your neck, back, carrying people's weight.
I'm saying that, but you're saying it because it's true. And it's just obvious that that's going to happen. And then once those injuries start, you have to start adjusting your game accordingly. So, but I say, I promise you, if you learn to roll relaxed, and if you do a lot more positional sparring, your jiu-jitsu will get so much better, and your body will thank you for it. And then you choose your rounds wisely. And so that's I'm not inverting generally, unless somebody forces me into that. But I'm not doing. I'm staying on top. I think the problem with jiu-jitsu is YouTube, because there's 7 million techniques. So I think that you should get 10 to 15 techniques, and you should get very good at those. And I would just say you go deeper, not wider. Wider is I'm going to do a bunch of different techniques, but I'm going to make my scissor sweep work, even though people say it's a basic move. But I think advanced basics are very, very good. So it's the same thing I do with lifting weights. You stay with the basic moves and you get strong with those, you'll be strong. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. Get your game, get good at it, and go from there. So listen to Henry Akins talk about Bernardo Faria, and he said, Bernardo collar choked me. I think that was what he said, cross collar choked me. He goes, Henry, I don't know how to do a cross collar choke very well. Now this is a 5-time world champion. He said what he did, though, is he got good at his moves, and that's how he became a world champion. He forced everyone into his positions. Deep half guard, over, under, over and over, do the same things over and over. You get good at those, that's where your jiu-jitsu will really shine. So hopefully that answers the question. Yes, sir.
If you, I'm curious as how you stay safe and relaxed if you can't get on top. Because I agree, on top is best.
Yeah, so
but sometimes you can't.
So sometimes, like, let's say Mark passes my guard. So the first thing I do is this. This is my first thing. I'm not giving up this underhook. So I don't want him smashing me. So once I get this underhook, what I'm going to do is pop. And now I'm back on top. So my game is a lot of wrestle up and try not to get smashed on the bottom. If I do get smashed on the bottom, I definitely don't want to be flat like this because I can already feel his pressure, and he's got the underhook here. So for me in this situation, I would try to bump to get that underhook if I could. But if I couldn't, what I would do is I would turn him this way. So I don't, you can play guard if you have a good open guard. That does help, but generally I just want to be on top. So it's just easier on my body. So, and I'm 155, 160 pounds now, so it's a little, I have a lot of fat, and so there's no cushion there. Sometimes I'll finish training, it's like, oh, my bones hurt. So, yeah, but that's just part of it. But, the thing is, I just love to train, and so I just got to figure out ways to sit down. So help.
Yes, sir. Oh, 100%.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your signals you look for to tell that you're starting to get overtrained before you go as far as maybe suffer an injury? Or, and then what is like your progression? Strictly time or?
Yeah, so here's my number one thing is I like measuring stuff. So every morning I wake up and I measure my resting pulse rate. And if it's high, then I know my body's, if it's 5 to 10 beats higher, I know my body's under stress. So I listen to that. That gives me an indicator. The second thing is am I irritable? Am I sleeping well? Those three things are my indicators from there. If there was one other thing I would say is, am I excited about getting in here? If I'm not, then I need some time off. Or I need to find something. The thing with jiu-jitsu to stay in the game, it's fun. And so for me, it's like I'm always just trying to learn things that we can learn to make this more fun. And go from there. And so, but yeah, I'm listening to my body. That's the big thing. And then if you put a training regimen together, like for me right now, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday are my training days. I can kind of monitor how I'm feeling through that. But if I go Tuesday, Wednesday, I go to Revive on Friday, and I do rounds there, and I come back on Saturday, then I just can't do that anymore. For me, it's just I'm super sensitive. As I get older, so I have to be very, very smart at how I approach everything. Because one minor injury, one little bit of overtraining can cost you. So that's how I approach it. Any others? Yes.
Do you, at this stage of life, it's very hard and it's kind of almost irresistible, like in your class and you're doing rounds, to not empty the tank or redline. So tournaments aside, do you ever empty your tank anymore or redline anymore?
I can do one hard round a week. That's really what I can do. And after that, honestly, it just takes so long to recover from that 100% effort. And so then I generally don't do that 100% effort generally. But if I have to, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a hard round right now. So that's kind of, but I won't do multiples on those. I'll do positional spars. I'll roll with people at about 50% maybe. If I lose, I don't panic. So yeah, I'm really careful with my body. And I just think that, jiu-jitsu is so much fun, but it's also very ego-driven. And so you have to kind of try to balance that out. They say leave your ego at verbal. None of us do that. That's just those fake cliches, We want to win when we come in. And so if you can kind of go, man, I really don't care if I win for me. Yeah, I want to win, but man, I'm so glad to be here. I'm just so thankful to be here. I love to be with guys. And, as I get older, I look at some of my friends who can't get off the term. So I'm so thankful for what I have. So I just want to take it. So that's kind of how I approach it. Always listening to my body. And I'm always teaching that all week long in training. Just telling people, hey, here's what's going on. So this is how we approach it. So that's what I do. I would say more positional spars are going to make you way better without killing your body. Because the rounds, they're great, but they're not where you're going to get the best. So I think Richie's a great positional sparring guy, and so he does that a lot. His jiu-jitsu is elevated very fast.
So it's okay to step out rounds, you stick rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you're doing live rounds, you just pull somebody aside and say, hey, I'm working on my closed guard sweeps, then we go through that. So positional start closed guard. That's good approach. Anyone else? Good. Hopefully that was helpful today and gives us some big ideas. And these guys
said they were a little overwhelmed with the amount of information that they've had already today. But you always walk away with something from these. You always walk away with something. But thank you guys so much for coming. My wife